What if all that you understand about Vladimir Putin's fortune is merely the surface of the truth? Vladimir Putin's wealth is a closely kept secret, yet various analysts estimate his net worth to lie between $300 billion and $500 billion, possibly making him the world's richest individual. However, what if those numbers are still understated? In contrast to conventional billionaires who flaunt their riches, Putin's wealth is closely linked to Russia's economic and political systems, providing him access to state-managed assets worth more than $3.8 trillion. Although there are no official financial statements available, leaked documents, insider testimonies, and investigative reports suggest the existence of a concealed empire extending well beyond Russia's boundaries. The extensive wealth network not only enhances Putin's personal fortune, but also guarantees his complete dominance over Russia's political and economic environment.
Offshore accounts and allegations of corruption. The true extent of Vladimir Putin's wealth lies not only in his reported assets but also in the shadowy world of offshore accounts.
A significant portion of Putin's wealth is hidden behind a complex network of proxies, offshore accounts, and oligarchs acting as financial representatives. In contrast to conventional billionaires who invest in businesses or stocks in their own names, Putin's wealth is held under trusted affiliates, making it almost unattainable to trace. Reports indicate that Putin's fortune is not kept in bank accounts, but rather as concealed investments in Russia's major companies, extensive property assets, and high-end possessions managed by third parties. This approach enables him to uphold reasonable deniability while still managing countless billions.
Safety. 3D renderings also reveal how luxurious this palace really is. There's an enormous guest house, a church, and a
well-known emblem of Putin's concealed riches is the $1.35 billion Black Sea Palace, an expansive estate cloaked in luxury and mystery. Supposedly financed by a complicated system of government corruption, the palace includes a private theater, an underground ice rink, and also a casino. Aerial videos and disclosed architectural designs showcased its astonishing magnitude, emphasizing the belief that Putin's riches greatly surpass official valuations. Outside the palace, Putin's private collection of planes, featuring a $716 million presidential jet, provides further insight into his lavish way of living. The aircraft is equipped with a gold-plated restroom, showcasing the remarkable extravagance that characterizes his concealed wealth. Putin's beginnings are much more modest than his present position indicates. His lineage can be traced to peasant origins in the 1600s. However, his grandfather, Spiridon Putin, had direct ties to Soviet elites, serving as a personal cook for Lenin and subsequently for Stalin. This link to power probably shaped Putin's perspective, solidifying his strong conviction in state authority and confidentiality. Spiridon Putin was more than just a cook. He was a reliable confidant, aware of the private discussions and political schemes of two of the most influential Soviet leaders. His survival in such perilous conditions indicates he was beyond merely a chef. He was someone who grasped discretion, loyalty, and the harsh truths of Soviet politics. This setting influenced the Putin family's view on power, strengthening the conviction that survival and authority rely on steadfast loyalty and complete secrecy. From a young age, Vladimir Putin was deeply involved in this philosophy, which would later characterize his governance of Russia, where authority is centralized, partnerships are meticulously handled, and confidentiality is critical. Before becoming president, Putin worked for years as a KGB officer, honing his skills in espionage, manipulation, and the consolidation of power. These abilities were vital to his capability to build and protect his substantial fortune. His education in psychological warfare and secret operations provided him with a unique skill set to maneuver through political machinations, neutralize rivals, and establish a network of supporters who would ultimately solidify his hold on power. His rise in politics was carefully planned, guaranteeing that when he arrived at the Kremlin, he would wield control over both the government and Russia's extensive financial empire. Putin's rise from a mid-ranking intelligence officer to the nation's highest authority was far from coincidental. It was a deliberate strategy based on a grasp of control, concealment, and complete supremacy. With ex-KGB associates placed in crucial economic and political positions, Putin successfully transformed Russia into a nation where power and wealth were intertwined. His calculated positioning of allies in key sectors, ranging from energy to banking, guaranteed that no substantial financial dealings could take place without his sway, solidifying his stronghold on both authority and wealth. Even though he is among the world's most influential leaders, Putin maintains a highly private family life. His daughters, Maria Vorontsova and Katerina Tikhonova, have used false identities for a significant part of their lives to shield them from possible dangers. Nonetheless, inquiries have shown that they are far from being typical citizens. Maria, a researcher in medicine, is said to gain from profitable business agreements linked to Russia's healthcare industry. She is associated with prominent state-sponsored initiatives, reportedly obtaining government support for endeavors that position her at the forefront of Russia's healthcare sector. Katerina, a top acrobat who became a businesswoman, has been linked to billion-dollar ventures in the tech sector, especially in artificial intelligence and defense technologies. Her ex-husband, billionaire Kirill Shamalov, is speculated to have secured profitable state contracts owing to his marriage to Putin's daughter, supposedly enabling him to build a fortune rapidly. Sources indicate that both daughters hold financial interests in major Russian sectors, acting as hidden beneficiaries of their father's power. Their riches, though concealed in mystery, are thought to be a component of a complex system intended to protect Putin's vast wealth. In 2022, global sanctions focused on Putin's daughters, Maria and Katerina, with the goal of severing financial routes believed to protect their father's extensive concealed fortune. These sanctions immobilized bank accounts, properties, and other assets associated with the two women, uncovering a complicated network of financial secrecy that goes well beyond public documentation. Western officials think that Putin has utilized his relatives as financial intermediaries, enabling them to oversee and hide his assets while preserving plausible deniability. However, the sanctions continued beyond that. Western governments intensified their actions by implementing restrictions on close allies, business partners, and even shell companies thought to be possessing Putin's assets. Investigators discovered offshore accounts, opulent properties, and multi-million-dollar investments distributed across different jurisdictions, all apparently linked to Putin's close associates. The more the West attempted to pressure him financially, the more it strengthened the conviction that his wealth was not only vast, but nearly unassailable. These sanctions could have unveiled sections of his empire, yet they also suggested a much larger web of concealed wealth out of reach. Putin's former spouse, Lyudmila Ocheretnaya, has also gained from his riches. After their divorce, she inexplicably obtained multi-million-dollar real estate assets throughout Europe. Many theorize that these assets were included in Putin's plan to conceal his wealth via reliable family members. However, what is genuinely remarkable is the scale of her rapid financial change. Prior to their separation in 2014, Lyudmila maintained a relatively low profile, primarily recognized as a former flight attendant and Russia's first lady. After the divorce, she became a prosperous and powerful individual, possessing luxurious real estate in France, Spain, and Switzerland. Reports indicate that she acquired prime real estate valued at hundreds of millions, with ownership information concealed by offshore entities and business associates tied to the Kremlin. Even more interestingly, she wed a businessman 3 decades younger, whose financial ascent suspiciously aligned with her purchases made after the divorce. Was this a private matter, or yet another strategic maneuver in a broader financial chess match directed by Putin? The mystery clouding Lyudmila's wealth provokes more inquiries than explanations, bolstering the notion that Putin's riches are not merely personal. They form an intricate, extensive web that extends beyond Russia. The Black Sea Palace, labeled as the largest bribe in the world by opposition figure Alexei Navalny, symbolizes Putin's hidden riches. With an approximate $2 million in yearly upkeep expenses, the palace represents the extent to which corruption is embedded in Putin's financial realm. However, this isn't merely a mansion, it's a bastion of privacy and extravagance, crafted to embody the unrestrained authority Putin possesses. Covering 190,000 square feet, the property features an amphitheater, a large underground ice rink, and a casino as well. Opulent Italian architecture, elaborate gold accents, and custom-made furnishings create an ambiance of a royal dwelling, suited for an emperor instead of an elected official. Drone images and disclosed designs uncover concealed passageways to the Black Sea, raising theories that the palace serves more than relaxation, but functions as a safe haven during emergencies. This unmatched exhibition of opulence sharply contrasts with the financial struggles endured by countless everyday Russians. Putin's alleged $800 million yacht, Scheherazade, resembles a floating stronghold featuring helipads, bulletproof windows, and an opulent interior that competes with royal residences. However, Scheherazade is merely the standout gem of a whole collection of opulent maritime palaces associated with the Russian leader. This 140-meter ship is said to feature gold-coated walls, a luxurious spa, a personal cinema, and a sophisticated security system capable of identifying underwater dangers. Aside from Scheherazade, Putin is also associated with the $100 million yacht Graceful, which has a glass-bottomed pool that changes into a dance floor, and Olympia, presented by oligarch Roman Abramovich. These yachts serve as more than mere opulent craft. They function as portable command hubs, fitted with advanced communication systems, anti-drone capabilities, and secure satellite connections, enabling Putin to manage affairs from any location globally. The confidentiality surrounding these assets only adds to the speculation, since official ownership documents are concealed by layers of shell corporations and loyal associates, supporting the idea that Putin's wealth is much greater than it appears. It is reported that Putin's private garage contains a collection of armored cars, featuring a $700,000 Urus Senate limousine, created for luxury as well as top-level security. This Russian-crafted marvel isn't merely a limousine. It's a mobile stronghold featuring bulletproof shielding, fortified tires, and sophisticated communication systems that guarantee Putin remains in command regardless of the circumstances. However, the Urus Senate is merely one part of a significantly larger collection. Accounts indicate that his personal collection features unique models from Mercedes-Maybach, Rolls-Royce, and even luxury vehicles from the Soviet era, all carefully preserved for both nostalgia and status. In addition to his cars, Putin's preference for watches is just as lavish. His assortment, valued at more than $700,000, showcases extremely rare watches, each representing strength and accuracy. Included in the collection is the A. Lang & Söhne Turbograph, worth more than $500,000, a watch made with unmatched German craftsmanship. Additionally, Putin has been seen sporting Patek Philippe and Breguet watches, each valued at tens of thousands of dollars, which emphasizes that his wealth transcends mere practicality. It conveys a notion of dominance and superiority. Putin's vast wealth isn't solely about luxury. It represents power, control, and an unbreakable hold on Russia's political and economic environment. Throughout the years, those critics and investigative journalists who have attempted to reveal the extensive empire of his wealth have encountered serious repercussions. Some have inexplicably vanished without a sign, while others have been jailed on dubious accusations or murdered under very questionable conditions. The message is unmistakable. Anyone who attempts to confront Putin's financial dominance jeopardizes everything. Consider, for example, the disturbing case of Alexei Navalny, the well-known opposition figure who was poisoned in 2020 with the lethal nerve agent Novichok. Numerous individuals think this served as a clear warning to those who seek to expose the reality of Putin's wealth and corruption. Other individuals, such as ex-Russian agent Alexander Litvinenko and reporter Anna Politkovskaya, experienced eerily comparable destinies. From the poisonings of ex-spies to the planned silencing of rival politicians, Putin's financial empire is shielded by more than mere secrecy. It is protected by fear, intimidation, and total control. The complete extent of Vladimir Putin's wealth might never be entirely uncovered, but one fact is evident. His riches represent more than mere figures. They symbolize total authority. What are your thoughts? Is Putin really the wealthiest person on the planet, or is his wealth something much larger, something beyond measure? Please express your opinions in the comments section below, and remember to like and subscribe for more revealing investigations.